Hey, what's up? So last time I took this out, the RC started jerking and was basically running like only 2 wires were hooked up to the motor. And this one was separated right here, which you can see. So I'm thinking it's actually disconnected inside the motor. I think I killed the motor. So I'm going to take this motor apart and see if I can see anything. I'll probably have to replace it. So I think this motor is trash. Unfortunately, I didn't get too much use out of it, maybe about a year, which it didn't last nearly as long as my first Backslash. But I do have a spare Haas motor, and these are this exact same size. The shaft is a little bit longer, but I think that'll be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and swap this pinion gear over. I'll have to get that lined up once it's in there, but I think that's about the right spot. I'll go ahead and put the motor plate on. So while I was working on this, I noticed my differential was leaking. So I'm going to go ahead and take that apart. And my drive shaft is loose, so maybe this is the perfect time to go through everything. Yeah, it looks like it's been leaking for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and order a rebuild kit right now. So I have this rebuild kit. It's part number 6884, and I'll have a link in the description. Wow. Yeah, that's why I was leaking. So there's a shim behind here I did not see. I'm going to go ahead and replace that with the new one. Might be worn out a little bit. Okay, that's all in there. I can go ahead and fill this up now. I'm going to use some 200K diff fluid. That's the heaviest I have without going to the X-Max 20 million. I don't think this would handle 20 million.
One hour later.
And I'll replace this shim as well. And then I just put the new seal in here. This kit comes with new screws, so I'll go ahead and put those in too. I had a 54 tooth spur gear in here, but because I'm going from a 2650 kV to a 2400 kV, I'm going to gear it up to a 50 tooth spur. Alright, so that's ready to install. Just gotta put this bearing on here. Now I can install the motor. So this motor is a little bit bigger and it's hitting on the screw. So speed controller would be held in with the motor. I have one other screw on the other side holding the speed controller, so that should be fine. Ah! Yep, that's a lot better. Okay, so I have the motor in here. I had problems getting the motor low enough to get the gear mesh close enough. It was just too much dirt built up in the chassis. So I'll set the gear mesh once the chassis is back together, so this is aligned properly. I took the shocks off because I had to get some O-rings to rebuild them. Alright, now I can get this set up. Basically, you just want to have it as close as possible with there still being a little bit of play. I think that should be good. And then once you have it tightened up, double check it. That should be how it is. Another way to do it is to put a piece of computer paper in here, stick it between the gears, push it as close as you can, tighten it up. Then when you take it out, you should have a gear mesh about like that. Alright, so I had to wait to get some parts to make the adapters. I have these 6mm female bullet connectors and then these 4mm male bullet connectors. They don't fit together like my Haas ones did because those ones I actually had to press in the vise, but these just kind of stick together, so they're only going to be soldered. The ones I had on my Haas, I'll leave a link to that video up top. Those I actually had to press in and then I soldered them, and those were a very secure fit, but these ones should hopefully work. Could probably use a soldering iron to heat it up, but I feel like a torch would be more fun. Alright, so this one's done. I'll go ahead and make the other ones right now. Alright, so I have them done. I just need to put a heat shrink on there. So I made sure it went a little over the end, and then I'm just going to cut the edge so it's clean. Alright, so those are ready to go. Let's go ahead and install them. Kind of have to bend these down to make sure it clears the body. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.